What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brilliant Florian Wirtz transfer news update video, because Liverpool are pushing to sign Florian Wirtz, who is worth £126 million according to Bayer Leverkusen. That's 150 million euros, and Manchester City have pulled out of the race to sign Florian Wirtz because they find the transfer fee plus Florian Wirtz's wages too high, and also Wirtz is not that keen to go to Man City right now with their future very much in question. And also Bayern Munich and Liverpool are the two main clubs now fighting for the signature of Florian Wirtz, and it will come down to the player's decision whether he wants to stay at Germany or go to Liverpool. And we will explore all the different stories and the deep dive on why Wirtz would be a brilliant player for Liverpool and where he could fit into Arne Slot's playing style. So guys, if you enjoy these transfer news updates videos, make sure to leave a like, and of course if you are new around here, subscribe so you never miss the daily Liverpool transfer news updates. And Paul Joyce has reported that Man City have pulled out of the race. Bayern have been considered as favourites to sign Wirtz, who can also play as a striker, as a false nine, and there are suggestions that he could visit Bayern this week as the battle for his signature intensifies. But of course Liverpool are also very interested. Leverkusen don't really want to sell to Bayern Munich, so they could demand a higher transfer fee from Bayern than what they would accept from Liverpool, which is very interesting. Liverpool have been already in contact with Leverkusen over Jeremy Frimpong, who flew over to Liverpool to have a medical, and he passed his medical according to some journalists yesterday. And Virgil van Dijk said that Liverpool are expecting a big summer ahead, and Liverpool are very interested in Milos Kerkez. Liverpool are in talks with Bournemouth and Kerkez himself over that transfer. So this is the most exciting time of the transfer season, and I'm really looking forward to covering all the news about this for you guys. And it's clear that Liverpool are making a pitch to Wirtz to join Liverpool, to join the title-winning Arne Slot machine, and Liverpool are trying to persuade him to opt for a new challenge in the Premier League. Away from his homeland, Wirtz could also stay at Leverkusen for another season. He has previously said that his career will be shaped by the chance to stock his trophy cabinet rather than boost his bank balance, telling Sports Illustrated that the sporting perspective is much more important to me than money, Florian Wirtz said. My parents would be angry if I ever gave money priority. And that signals to me that Florian Wirtz's upbringing is very good, and he has very humble, parents who don't want him to just chase the money. And Bayern's honorary president, Uli Hoeneß, made some intriguing comments about this transfer story. He claimed that Wirtz was at Liverpool last week when he was supposed to meet Manchester City. Liverpool have said the meeting did not take place, which is very interesting, but a lot of people reported that Wirtz was at Liverpool. The withdrawal of Man City from the race to sign Wirtz raises the prospect of a straight shootout, a straight contest between Bayern Munich and Liverpool. And of course, a lot of German international footballers end up at Bayern Munich because half the national team plays there. It's a well-run club, you are earning top money, you are almost guaranteed a league title 9 times out of 10, and you play in the Champions League, and you play for the German national team, so it's a glamorous lifestyle. You don't even need to leave Germany, and you can have all the sporting success in the world. But Florian Wirtz is a kind of player that could challenge himself to go to Liverpool, who also plays in a very exciting, but not a one team league, and he could also challenge for the Champions League at Liverpool as well. So Man City have pulled out of the race to sign Wirtz after claiming that the total financial package, including wages and transfer fees, would amount to about £250 million. They have taken similar stances before during the Pep Guardiola era with Alexis Sanchez, Frankie de Jong, Koulibaly, because these transfer fees seemed too steep for Man City. But deals for Erling Haaland and Jack Grealish were sanctioned, which cost a lot of money for Man City. However, Man City have failed to land Guardiola's top transfer target this summer. They have spent 180 million on 4 new players just in the January transfer window. So Wirtz is viewed by Guardiola as the successor to Kevin De Bruyne, and he made it clear that Man City were interested in Florian Wirtz, but now Man City will turn to other targets like Morgan Gibbs-White of Nottingham Forest, a Dutch midfielder of AC Milan, the Reinders, who is also available for around £55 million, and there is hope internally that Phil Foden will bounce back from a very disappointing, tough season, and Guardiola is a big fan of him. Leverkusen value Wirtz at around £126 million, and with Liverpool having the title wrapped up already, we are already, in talks with several players for a summer transfer. It looks like Jeremy Frimpong will be Liverpool's first transfer of the transfer window, and Arne Slot admits that he needs to find a way of keeping happy fringe players at the club, because he used around 14 to 15 fringe players, squad players during the season, and the last 3 games where Liverpool played a lot of the fringe players and struggled for results. Maybe the lack of motivation is a factor as well, but it shows that the fringe players obviously they haven't stepped up that much. And Sky Sports are also reporting that Man City have cooled their interest in Florian Wirtz, mainly because of the significant costs of the deal that could reach as much as £250 million with transfer fee plus all the wages across the 5-year contract of Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz has an absolutely sensational season at Bayer Leverkusen. This season he scored a little bit less goals and assists than last season, but still his numbers are absolutely brilliant. So here you can see that this season Florian Wirtz has 16 goals and 14 assists in 45 games for Bayer Leverkusen. And last season he had 18 goals and 19 assists. Last season he was even better because Leverkusen, of course, won the Bundesliga, won the German Cup as a result of Florian Wirtz in sensational form, but he also didn't suffer from any injuries. This season he picked up a few knocks here and there, but he still played 45 games, and the previous 3 seasons ago he had a quite injury season, only playing 25 games, but still he always scores goals and gets assists since he started his senior career at Bayer Leverkusen. He's a Bayer Leverkusen youth academy player, so he will find it tough to leave this club, of course, but he's a sensational player, I think worth 125 million for sure. Another news outlet is reporting that Liverpool are making a pitch to the superstar difference maker Florian Wirtz, and some pundits or journalists called Man City pulling out of the Florian Wirtz transfer race a shock decision. He was described as a difference maker by outgoing Bayern Leverkusen head coach Xabi Alonso during the winter break this season, and the Mirror reported that Liverpool are very keen on signing him, and of course former Germany head coach Hansi Flick, who is now at Barcelona, called Florian Wirtz the full package, and he said he loves to play, he's very creative, he has a good shot, he runs hard, and he is quick. And the Times, I already showed you this, that they reported that Man City pulled out of the race, and the Times newspaper confirmed that Liverpool are making a pitch to Florian Wirtz to join Arne Slot's title-winning team. It looks like Man City are also concerned at Wirtz costing an overinflated price, even if he's acknowledged as one of the leading young talents in European football. I mean, if Wirtz at 125 million is overinflated price now, what do you say about Jack Grealish costing 100 million pounds like 3 or 4 years ago? I don't even know. The report claimed that the decision by Man City to withdraw from the race to land Florian Wirtz should also be viewed as a commitment to Phil Foden's role in Guardiola's plans. He has long been seen as the long-term heir to outgoing creators De Bruyne, and the addition of Wirtz may have put the Englishman's place in Guardiola's plans in question. But as things stand, Wirtz is not expected to arrive. Man City will remain in the market for a new creative midfielder, with Morgan Gibbs-White one of the options. Fabrizio Romano also reported that Man City have exited the running to land Florian Wirtz. He said Man City have currently left the negotiations for Florian Wirtz. Talks were never advanced or at final stages, just approaches were made, but Man City believe the full package is too expensive, so they pulled out of the race. And that gives room for Liverpool to actually tempt Wirtz to sign. And Leverkusen definitely would rather sell Wirtz to Liverpool than to Bayern Munich. So it comes down to the player. What does Wirtz want? What will he decide? And he will take his time, because this is one of the biggest decisions of his life, of his footballing career. If he stays, he only wants to join Bayern, then Leverkusen has to sell him to Bayern, or he stays another year. But if Wirtz stays, he's open to joining Liverpool. Or if Wirtz says he's open to joining Liverpool or Bayern, then clearly Leverkusen will sell him to Liverpool. So hopefully Wirtz is open to joining Liverpool and not just Bayern Munich. Leverkusen probably will sell him to the highest bidder, but I don't think if Bayern pay 10-15 million more, then I would choose, if I was Leverkusen, I would choose Liverpool. Because if you sell Wirtz to Bayern, then you are guaranteed not winning the title. Without Wirtz, and Wirtz playing at your biggest rival in the league, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Probably Liverpool won't make Florian Wirtz the top earner at the club. That will be Van Dijk and Salah, but his salary will be very close to that. And Liverpool don't pay players wages for their potential. I don't think it's a good idea. They will want more whenever they renew, and you have to keep having to go higher, ruining the wage structure. So it makes sense to give a young player a lower wage, and then gradually, as they improve and as they get better and as they become a more important part of the Liverpool starting 11, you can increase their wages maybe every 2 years. And it feels like Liverpool's current priority, assuming that Kerkez transfer is sorted, the next order of business is replacing Trent Alexander-Arnold's creativity. And Arne Slot maybe doesn't see Harvey Elliott as that spark, and we will move him on. He made some comments recently about he has to think long and hard about his career and his future. Even though he loves Liverpool, he would love to play at Liverpool all his life. He needs to think about his footballing career. So I can understand why Liverpool could put a huge amount of money on the table for Florian Wirtz. And if the Liverpool data analysis team is convinced that Wirtz is the best option, then Liverpool will go for him. Of course, Trent's creativity comes sometimes from deep. It's more commonly called sometimes build-up or ball progression. The other is Trent Alexander-Arnold's crosses, most commonly from the right half space. The later Wirtz will solve by replacing those crosses with other types of assists. But Wirtz should not be relied on to solve the first one, which is ball progression and deep build up from deep areas on the pitch. It's unclear how Liverpool will solve the first issue. Should we buy a deep lying playmaker like Benjamin Stiller or Angelo Stiller, of Stuttgart, or should we train Gravenberch to improve his passing, or perhaps get a pass-heavy controller type of left back? But I think Kerkez is nailed on to join Liverpool. Hopefully we can sort out the transfer fee with Bournemouth. And you don't need, of course, a like-for-like replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold, because Trent progressed the ball a lot with his passes, but Frimpong can progress the ball with his carries as well. And if we need to go long, Van Dijk, McAllister, Konate are enough to do it. But I agree that we need to improve at deep build-up, regardless of who plays in the team. It was one of the weaker aspects of Liverpool's game maybe this season. But I imagine as the players get used to Arne Slot's patterns more and more, that part of Liverpool's game will improve gradually with time. But it's also worth noting that you don't necessarily need Trent Alexander-Arnold's half-space crossing if the right back is in position and it reduces the defensive exposure. Bradley has already played and has been successful. We don't need to replace Trent, we need cover for Bradley. It would be a fool's errand to try and replace Trent like for like. I think our system and the way we build up will change a lot. With Frimpong, Bradley and possibly Kerkez, we will have players who can carry the ball up the pitch. I think we will try and be more creative higher up the pitch to replace the chances that Trent created from deep with his long passes, with his long assists to the forwards. And I don't think Wirtz will play in midfield. I think Wirtz would likely play as a false 9 or maybe as an attacking midfielder instead of Szoboszlai, but I think it makes sense to play Wirtz as a false 9 because Liverpool need a really, really good striker. And Liverpool didn't have any very, very strong links with strikers. The strongest I've seen is Hugo Ekitike of Frankfurt. It could be that we are talking to a few striker options, but Wirtz is the priority for now. And let's see whether he chooses Liverpool or Bayern. Ishak might be on our list, but it's been pretty quiet and even harder deal to make considering Newcastle are a rival in the Premier League and they are in no rush to sell Ishak. Who knows, maybe even Jota could leave with Nunez, and then we are looking at maybe 2 forward players, 2 strikers. And I really liked Federico Chiesa up front in the first half, but he's not a striker, so he's not a long-term solution there. Maybe Liverpool are after a versatile attacker rather than an out-and-out striker. We will see. Arne Slot is pretty fluid tactically. He played Luis Diaz up front quite sometimes. Chiesa played up front yesterday. So Liverpool will look at players that fit our style rather than being just very rigid positioning, and we will only sign an out-and-out striker. It really depends on whether Bayern will pay the German premium that Leverkusen are putting on for clubs in Germany to buy Florian Wirtz. Bayern have only spent more than £50 million on 3 players: Harry Kane, De Ligt and Lucas Hernandez. They have never spent over 80 million on a player. So they don't really do crazy high transfer deals. Like Liverpool as well. Liverpool only spent, 75 million on Van Dijk, 70 million on Alisson, maybe 65 million on Nunez, depending on where his bonuses end up. We need help from Leverkusen. They will effectively have to tell Wirtz to join Liverpool or stay another year and make it extremely expensive to Bayern Munich. I would actually do that if I was Leverkusen. Leverkusen want to win the title again in the Bundesliga after winning it winning it last season. Why would you sell your best player to Bayern unless you can ask? I would ask a ridiculous 150 million. Surely that Bayern wouldn't pay that. And I would tell Wirtz, you can join Liverpool for 125 million or stay at Leverkusen for 1 more year. Maybe agent Xabi Alonso recommended Liverpool to Florian Wirtz, I'm not sure. So apparently the rumor is Leverkusen will sell Florian Wirtz for a lower price to outside of the Bundesliga. Numbers are apparently 130 million euros for Bayern, 90 million euros for Liverpool. I mean, that seems too low to me. 75 million pounds for Wirtz, that would be an absolute steal. And yes, Florian Wirtz has won everything with Leverkusen, including their first league title ever. If he's smart, he won't go to Bayern to stat pad some easy titles and destroy the legend status he has with Leverkusen fans. Because at the moment, Wirtz is one of the biggest Leverkusen legends of the club's history. Because remember, this is their first league title, and he is the boyhood Leverkusen fan, youth academy player who led Leverkusen to the title. He was their main player. What a story that is. So let me know, what do you think about this whole Bayer Leverkusen, Florian Wirtz, Bayern Munich, Liverpool transfer saga? Leave your thoughts down below, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.